The day after President Trump called U.S. airstrikes on 3 key Iranian nuclear sites a spectacular military success, he described the damage to them as monumental in a social media post on Sunday. The president also wrote, quote, "It's not politically correct to use the term regime change, but if the current Iranian regime is unable to make Iran great again, why wouldn't there be a regime change?" During the strikes called Operation Midnight Hammer, B-2 bombers dropped bunker-busting bombs on the nuclear installations.
The battle damage assessment is ongoing, but our initial assessment, as the chairman said, is that all of our precision munitions struck where we wanted them to strike and had the desired effect.
New video shows the planes returning to Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. On Face the Nation, Secretary of State Marco Rubio warned Iran against making any retaliatory moves against the U.S. or its interests.
We'll see what Iran decides to do. I think they should choose the route of peace. We've done everything. We have bent over backwards, okay, to create a deal with these people.
On Capitol Hill, Republicans mostly welcomed President Trump's decision, while some Democrats said the commander-in-chief should have consulted Congress first.
I'm always open to new intelligence, but the procedure should have been that Congress was briefed before we decided to enter war and that we actually had a vote on it.
During an emergency Security Council session at the UN, Iran's ambassador said his country's military will decide the timing, nature, and scale of its response. Israel's ambassador called the U.S. move a righteous act that removed the greatest existential threat facing the free world. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Washington.
And while the world reacts to President Trump's decision to take down Iran's nuclear capabilities, Virginia's lawmakers and some community members are also sharing their voices, including at a protest held earlier today.
The strikes were a spectacular military success.
Just one day after President Trump announced that the United States military had conducted airstrikes on Iran's 3 nuclear facilities,
Trump, you're a liar!
protesters gathered Sunday in Richmond's Abner Clay Park.
Money's being spent on wars instead of needs here at home.
Rain Burrows with Veterans for Peace.
Israel has 200 to 400 nuclear weapons.
Says she fears the strikes could lead to retaliation and another war in the Middle East.
The people of the United States do not want a war with Iran. That is the majority.
Against the incoming tide of authoritarianism.
Around 50 people came together Sunday to support the Party for Socialism and Liberation, as well as other groups that organized Sunday's protest.
You know, just as people, we need to be paying attention to what's happening. And, you know, these actions affect everybody.
Because I'm in touch with my humanity. And I'm, horrified that not everybody else is. I mean, this affects every single one of us.
In Virginia, lawmakers are divided over the president's decision. Republican Congressman John McGuire stating, President Trump was clear, Iran can never be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. Iran is a state sponsor of terror, and they have a history of killing U.S. service members and others around the world. Governor Glenn Youngkin shared on X, President Donald Trump meant what he said over and over again. Iran must never have nuclear weapons. Promises made, promises kept. And Democratic Senator Mark Warner sharing in part, there's no question that Iran poses a serious threat to regional stability, and the United States must remain unwavering in our commitment to Israel's security and in ensuring that Iran never acquires a nuclear weapon. But launching direct military strikes without authorization from or consultation with Congress raises urgent questions.
And now we're bombing Iran. And I'm just waiting for it to come back and start falling in our laps.
And it's fear of the unknown that many say worries them most.